maybe it does mean. Maybe it might.
Right.
Maybe it might.
This fight is so close, they're so closely knitted that you got to look for all the small pieces because the small things are what going to add up to somebody winning the fight.
And fight a guy who might put him in a dogfight, a real one, for the first time in his career.
When we get put in that position, we go find opposition to make that happen. You understand me? So when we go looking for the opposition, we're not concerned about how big they are, how fast they are, how strong they are. We feel like we got enough that we can bring to the table with anybody.
But skill for skill, as far as equality, to me, Bud and Canelo are equal because we're in their career.
The thing I like about Teo's style, I mean, when you have a guy like Shakur whose defense is that good, and he's not just a guy who's going to hug you, he can box, you know? The easiest thing in the world is just to pick him against everybody.
Right.
Yes.
But
Roy Jones Jr. and Max Kellerman clash in a deep debate over Shakur Stevenson versus Teófimo López, focusing on mindset, bravery, and championship ambition. They argue that real champions never dodge challenges, no matter the risk, size, or reputation of the opponent. Max analyzes the matchup by pointing out that Shakur enters with more pressure and more to lose, while Teófimo stands to gain everything with a dominant win on boxing's biggest stage as the undefeated fighter.
he's seen as the eventual pound-for-pound champ potentially. But Teo has more to win. He has more to gain. So on the one hand, is there an advantage there where Shakur is fighting to protect that perfect record, to protect that kind of sense that he's the next guy? On the other hand, Teo is like he can fight with more abandon against Shakur because there's so much for him to gain. And if he loses, he's lost before. He lost to Kambosos, and he came back from that. But oh my God, if he can pull it off. Like, if it's a close fight and Teo could keep it close and we're going into the 10th, 11th, 12th rounds, is there an advantage there, given that situation?
He came back from that Kambosos fight, but in some way, the jury is still out on Teo a little bit because I'm going to tell you why. On that card that was done in Times Square, he looked the best out of, with all due respect, out of a lot of people that did.
However, Roy Jones Jr. compares a matchup to Canelo versus Bud, where power is evenly matched, while Shakur versus Teófimo shapes up as a pure skill-for-skill battle, likely to be decided by technique, timing, and ring IQ rather than raw strength.
Good damn fight, too. See, that fight is skill for skill as good as this fight. But they just haven't been around long enough to prove themselves yet. But skill for skill, as far as equality, to me, Bud and Canelo are equal because we're in their career. Because how accomplished they are. These two guys are also equal where they're in their career. Because they're accomplished, but not as accomplished as these two. But they're still equal accomplished. You understand me? So those are two good damn fights. And
Max Kellerman applauds Teófimo's footwork, highlighting how he glides around opponents, cuts sharp angles, manages distance with ease, and slips out of danger through smart movement and high-level ring awareness.
Have to be honest with the way I see it, I don't think that was the best version of Teo by a long shot. But even then, he was rallying in that fight late. He has championship heart. And the thing I like about Teo's style, I mean, when you have a guy like Shakur whose defense is that good, and he's not just a guy who's going to hug you, he can box, you know? The easiest thing in the world is just to pick him against everybody.
Right. Yes.
But Teo also has the kind of footwork, Malik, where he steps around guys. And I think about Buddy McGirt, Meldrick Taylor.
Yes.
Roy, you know, where Meldrick had quick enough feet where if you were going to come right at Buddy McGirt, he could box you. But Meldrick could give him angles that were more difficult. I think of Roy.
Teófimo is calm, confident, and fully prepared, explaining that boxing is ultimately a mental game. He believes his mindset is locked in for this fight, shaped by non-stop repetition, sharp focus, strict discipline, and ingrained muscle memory.
Mentally prepared with the audience? Are you mentally going to be prepared with the certain punch selection? There's things that I have to maintain as well. Those are things that I have to work on within myself. It's a muscle. I think of it like condiments, right? You got your ketchup, you got your mustard, you got all these type of condiments, but you don't know if you like it or not unless you try it. And I think the same thing applies when it comes to getting prepared for certain things like this. Pretty much you have to try different things, different steps, different routines, different ways to see what really fits and works for you. And if they all fit and work for you, when is the right time to apply them? And it's a muscle memory that you have to create now. If you don't create now, it can harm you the day of the fight. The mentality part of it is going to really be the key moment for who wins that night. I'm that type of person, truly, that type of person that focuses on.
Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson remains fully focused in camp, pushing himself daily as he sharpens his skills, fine-tunes his movement, and prepares both mentally and physically for the challenge ahead.
Right at that chest, it's coming, it's coming.
That was 9 rounds of sparring. I ain't gonna tell y'all the minutes, but yeah, I'm preparing to my fullest. So I'm putting in a lot of work and getting ready. Sure.
Word.
Training with Shakur is amazing. A guy like me been knowing Shakur for over 10 years now. The boxing world know that we brothers and we'll never fight each other. And just being around him in his camp, man, it's nothing but positive energy. And everybody wanting to be great. He's like my big brother, man. Like, he is my big brother, honestly. You know, he got all the wisdom in the world, especially when it comes to defense. So he's just making sure I stay sharp on my defense and not getting hit.
That wraps up today's video. Stay connected for more, and thanks for watching. See you next time on Coming Fist Movie Camera.